everyone, I'm Dan here with Fanatic Bike Co, bringing you April's most exciting gear. Now, spring is in full swing. I've been getting out there and riding my bike. The days are long. I hope you guys have been getting out there too. There is still some inclement weather to be had though. A lot of rain, sometimes colder temperatures depending where you are. Some of you are probably still encountering snow we have here and there over the last month, which brings me to my first piece of gear. These are called Ground Keeper Fenders. Now, a little bit of backstory here. A lot of you probably remember a couple years ago when Ken Block of Gymkhana fame got a Galaxy print or Galaxy painted Demo 8. Now that Demo 8 was actually painted by our friend Tony Bauman of Made Rad by Tony. He custom paints bicycle frames, helmets, a whole slew of things. But last year he and his partner Keely, who's a graphic designer, had the bright idea to put their doodles and their designs onto the fenders that we all know and love. Now, this is a rad idea. We just got our first delivery of Ground Keeper Fenders yesterday. You can see a whole slew of them here. And they're super cool. Tony asked me to try one out a couple months ago just to make sure that the vinyl wouldn't delaminate or anything weird, and I have been using it. As you can see, I've been putting it to the test. You'll note that the front end of my bike is much less muddy than the back end. I don't know whether that's from the fender or what, but I'll tell you the fender does do its job and it does it well and in style. They've got a whole bunch of different designs. We picked up a whole bunch of them. One that I wanted to focus on was actually this one, which is a collaboration with Becca of Beck's Design. Becca actually does all of our logos and graphics for Fanatic, and she's another friend here in the shop, here in Bellingham, Washington. She actually does all the logos on our t-shirts as well. So they collaborated and made this special edition Beck's Design print. This is a pattern that she did herself. She's big into pattern making, and this thing's pretty cool. It's a Fanatic exclusive. Now, if you're interested in picking one of these up, they're super cool, cheap, inexpensive piece of equipment. These in particular are going to really add a lot of flair to your bike. There's a whole slew of options, and they support local companies. They support several of our friends here in Bellingham. It's a really cool thing, and we're really happy to bring them in and support them. Also, if you happen to be at Sea Otter this weekend, if we get this video published before the weekend, which I hope we do, then do swing by. Tony and Keely and Ground Keeper Fenders will be there with a booth. You can swing by and say hi. Tell them Fanatic says hi too. Now, moving forward, like I said, back to the inclement weather that sometimes we've been having. A lot of you are probably familiar with the 100% Brisker glove. This is a shop favorite. It's pretty inexpensive. It's a very lightweight glove. It has a really tactile feel on the palm, a very thin palm, which is nice for mountain biking. It's one of our shop favorites, but when it gets wet out, this thing, any heat pretty much goes out the door. It just gets saturated and gets kind of cold. So 100% saw the need for something a little different, and they've now introduced the Hydromatic Brisker. This is actually it's fully waterproof Brisker version of the same glove. It has a very similar feel. It's a little bit denser. The palm is still fairly thin, not quite as thin as this, but tactile enough that you're going to be able to shift and brake no problem, especially because your hands will be a lot warmer if it's wet out, which when my fingers go numb, I lose all sense of what's going on down there. So this is a sweet product. It does run a little bit smaller than the regular Brisker, so if you have that one and want to try this one, you might need to size up. It's not huge, but there's more material in here, which makes it a slightly tighter fit. I did want to note that we do free return shipping on unused apparel and protection, so if you wind up with the wrong size, just let us know. We'll get you sorted out. So, last thing on the list, these are quick and easy. This is something I think a lot of you are going to be really excited about. It is a new version of the Wolf Tooth remote line, and this one is specifically for Rock Shox Reverbs. Now, a lot of you will probably scoff at me when I say this, but I actually really do like the reverb because it's completely rebuildable. If anything goes wrong, if air gets into the damper, you can actually rebuild it at home if you have the gumption to do so, or you can take it to your local shop. They can fully replace every bushing, everything in there. But one of the big issues with that was that it had a hydraulically actuated remote, which was honestly kind of a pain in the butt. Wolftooth saw the need and saw the desire for something a little different, so they designed the Sustain kit, the Sustain Wolftooth remote. What that is they include this little piece down here. This actually replaces the connect-a-majig on the bottom of your reverb, and you run a regular derailleur cable from here up to just the normal Wolftooth remote. This comes with the kit. You buy the one for your type of brake. This is a Shimano iSpec 2. A lot of you have probably used this product. You know, it's extremely high quality. There's a nice big bearing in there. It has an extremely nice lever feel. And this is actually going to really improve the feel of your reverb. It's going to make it so that the post can actually return more quickly. They've fiddled with the settings down here of how this actuates the reverb and made it so it can actually actuate a little faster. And this remote is has a really nice feel to it. It's quite a bit better than the push button remote from Reverb, and actually nicer than their new 1x setup too, especially because it's no longer hydraulic. So check this thing out. Nobody here at the shop has actually installed one on their bike yet. It's a brand new product. I know a couple of us are really looking forward to trying it though. We will get back to it with a more in-depth review. But knowing Wolftooth, knowing the guys there that design this stuff, this is a really high quality product. The remote is. I can only imagine that the Sustain conversion is going to work really, really well. So if you have any questions about any of this stuff, the Ground Keeper Fenders, maybe more of their backstory, Brisker Gloves, or particularly this Wolftooth Sustain remote, do feel free to leave us a comment in the boxes down below. We'd be happy to get back to you. You can also always shoot us an email at sales@fanaticbike.com or give us a phone call at 1-844-326-2845. That's 1-844-FANATIC. As always, I'm Dan with Fanatic. If you like these videos, please give us a subscribe. We like making them. We like showing you cool stuff, like especially when it's our friends that are involved. It's really fun. We like it a lot. Get out there, ride your bike, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
Sick. Got it.
Shot of the shot.